This message was not sent to your screen by accident. Something divine has been trying to reach you, and tonight, heaven has made its final move. You may have ignored the signs before. You may have doubted the voice within you. But this time, it's different. This time, the archangels are in total shock, because heaven just revealed something that cannot wait another moment. Before 8 p.m. tonight, your spirit will be given a choice, to walk toward your destiny or to turn away and face the same storm again. God is calling, not in anger, but in mercy. This is your final chance to understand what's really happening in the unseen, the truth that has been hidden from you until now. Heaven has opened the record of your life. The angels are watching. Time is running out, and this message, yes, this one, might be the turning point your soul has been waiting for. Because when God speaks, it's never random. And if this video has reached you, it means something is about to change, forever. So don't scroll away. Don't dismiss this. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will open your eyes to everything the enemy tried to keep hidden. This is your sign. This is your warning. This is your divine wake-up call before 8 p.m. If you're ready to hear the truth, stay till the very end, and remember to like, share, and subscribe, because this message isn't just for you, it's for every soul that heaven is trying to reach through you. Heaven is not silent tonight. Something is shifting in the unseen realm, and the archangels are watching in total shock, not because God has lost control, but because a moment of divine reckoning has arrived on earth. You've been pulled into this message for a reason that your mind can't fully grasp yet. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. God has been whispering, calling, and showing signs for days, yet tonight, his voice grows thunderous. The message you are about to hear isn't meant for everyone, it's meant for the chosen ones who are awake enough to feel the tremble in their spirit right now. If you feel chills, if your heart is pounding, if your eyes can't look away from this screen, it's because heaven has declared this moment as your final wake-up call before a major divine unveiling takes place. The archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, are standing in formation, guarding the spiritual gateways that surround you. They are shocked not because God's plan has failed, but because so many souls have turned their faces away from divine truth even as heaven cries out for their attention. But you are not like the rest. You've been chosen to hear, to see, to awaken before the hour strikes 8 p.m. This message isn't to scare you, it's to awaken the sleeping power inside of you. For too long, you've been surrounded by voices of doubt, darkness, and delay. For too long, the enemy has whispered lies into your thoughts, making you believe that you've missed your moment, that your time is gone, that your prayers have been ignored. But heaven has stepped in now. The angels have drawn a spiritual circle around you, and God is commanding one final call: wake up, my child. The hour of revelation is near. The world has been trembling with hidden warfare, not of flesh and blood, but of spirit and destiny. The enemy knows what's written about you. He knows that if you rise now, his chains over your family, your finances, your peace, your destiny will be shattered. That's why distractions have multiplied. That's why confusion has surrounded you. But God says, enough. The divine alarm is sounding in your spirit because something massive is about to break, and the archangels can feel it. They stand in awe of what God is preparing to do through you. Michael has drawn his sword. Gabriel has prepared the message of truth. Raphael is standing by with healing light. And Uriel holds the torch of divine wisdom, illuminating your path as darkness tries to close in. Right now, the heavens are waiting for your response. Will you walk away, or will you step into the revelation that's calling your name? This is not a random video, it's a divine encounter. You're not just watching, you're being watched by heaven. The moment you finish this message, your spirit will not be the same. God says, if you walk away from this call, tragedy will follow, not because I wish it, but because turning away from my truth leaves you exposed to what I've been protecting you from. The angels are not shocked by your weakness, they are shocked by how powerful your destiny really is. They see what's coming. They know what heaven has written about you. And they know the time has run out for hesitation. The countdown to your transformation has begun. Before 8 p.m., heaven's timeline will shift. Either you align with the divine calling over your life, or you risk missing the very door that was created to lead you into your purpose. This is not a scare, it's a sacred summons. Stay. Listen. Breathe. Because what comes next will explain everything you've been sensing. And before we go deeper, take 1 second, hit like, share, and subscribe, not for me, but so that this divine message continues to reach the ones God is trying to wake before it's too late. You're here for a reason. This is your moment to listen until heaven finishes speaking. As you sit here right now, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. The air may feel still, but heaven is moving. The archangels are not calm tonight, they are in complete motion, dispatched to deliver divine warnings and prepare God's chosen for what's coming. They are standing between you and the storm that's about to be revealed. Archangel Michael has sounded the trumpet. He has drawn his blazing sword of truth and protection, cutting through every veil of confusion that has clouded your discernment. For months, maybe even years, you felt a strange pull in your spirit, an urgency you couldn't explain. Now, that urgency is finding its meaning. You were never crazy for feeling that something divine was approaching. You were discerning. Heaven has been trying to get your attention, sending signs in ways only your soul could recognize: numbers, dreams, repeated words, divine encounters that seemed small but carried messages. Now, all those scattered clues are coming together into one undeniable truth: God has been preparing you for this very hour. The angels are stunned by how close you are to your breakthrough, yet how unaware you've been of heaven's intense movement on your behalf. They are amazed that even with every spiritual attack, you're still here. You've been through betrayal, heartbreak, delays, financial strain, emotional battles, yet something inside of you refused to quit. That was not your strength. That was divine preservation. There were nights you should have broken down completely, but an invisible hand held you. There were moments when your mind said, "I'm done," but your spirit whispered, "Not yet." That whisper came from the breath of God, keeping you alive for this exact moment in divine history. The archangels are moving with urgency because there is a heavenly countdown. God's word over your life is ready to manifest, but it requires your attention, your obedience, and your awareness right now. Heaven cannot pour new blessings into hands still gripping the pain of yesterday. The angels are trying to position you, clear your path, and awaken you to what is unfolding. Every strange delay, every door that closed, every person who walked away, it wasn't random. It was divine protection disguised as loss. God allowed certain people to leave because their energy could not travel into the next dimension of your purpose. The angels wept when they saw your pain, but they rejoiced because they saw your future. They saw what you could not. Tonight, the call is serious. God is saying, "My child, do not walk away from this call. Do not turn away from my warning. Because right now, destinies are shifting. The Spirit of the Lord is moving with speed. The time between prayer and manifestation is shortening. What once took years will now take days. But it requires alignment, and heaven is testing who is listening and who is distracted. If your soul feels restless, if your thoughts have been heavy lately, it's because you're standing between two realms, the old season that's ending and the new one that's being born. The archangels are working overtime to ensure you don't miss the divine window that's opening. This is not about fear, it's about focus. The enemy knows he's running out of time, so he's been attacking your peace, your confidence, and your focus. But the angels are reminding you, what God has ordained cannot be stolen, only delayed. And that delay ends now. Heaven is declaring, "Wake up before the clock strikes the appointed hour." Because when the divine hour passes, the window of opportunity closes, not forever, but until the next season. And God doesn't want you to wait another season to receive what's already prepared for you now. You're not watching this by chance. You're being awakened by design. God's Spirit is saying, I've called you before, but this time, it's your final warning before the shift. Stay with this message. Do not scroll away. Because what's coming next will open your eyes to the hidden truth behind your delays, your battles, and your divine assignment. And before you continue, take a second to like, share, and subscribe, not for the sake of numbers, but because this message could be the sign someone else desperately needs to see before their time runs out. Heaven is watching. The archangels are preparing. And God is speaking. The question is, will you listen? What most people don't see, what the world ignores, is that there's a spiritual war happening right now, all around us. You may think your struggles have been with people, with situations, with money, with your emotions, but heaven reveals something deeper tonight. You've been fighting an unseen war against forces that fear your awakening. Since before you were born, the light inside of you has been marked. God placed a divine seal upon your destiny, a mission, an anointing, a purpose that carries heaven's fingerprint. That's why your life has never been ordinary. That's why the battles you've faced have always felt personal, unfair, and relentless. Because darkness recognizes what's inside you, even before you do. The archangels have seen this war unfolding. They've watched as unseen forces whispered lies into your thoughts, telling you that you're not enough, that you're too late, that you've made too many mistakes. They've seen the manipulations, the betrayals, the sudden changes that made no sense. Every time you took a step forward, something tried to pull you back. That wasn't coincidence. That was spiritual resistance. But tonight, heaven has drawn the line. Archangel Michael, the mighty warrior of light, stands with his sword raised high. His armor glows with divine fire, and his command is clear: the child of God will not be lost to the lies of the enemy. Michael's presence surrounds you even now. You may not see him, but your spirit feels the shift, that sudden calm, that strange peace after chaos. It's not your imagination, it's the atmosphere of protection settling over you. God is saying, the war for your destiny is ending. Every delay, every confusion, every attack was a setup for this revelation. The hidden war was never about destroying you, it was about distracting you. The enemy's greatest weapon was not power, it was deception. If he could keep you from knowing who you are in God, he didn't need to defeat you, he just needed to keep you unaware. But that ends now. The archangels are exposing the enemy's strategies. Every time you doubted your worth, it was a spiritual attack to silence your divine confidence. Every toxic relationship that drained you was an assignment meant to break your focus from your calling. Every strange delay was resistance against your breakthrough. Every sudden heaviness or confusion was the enemy trying to cloud your mind so you couldn't hear God clearly. But the heavens have intervened. Michael has shattered the chains of deception. Gabriel has released the message of awakening. Raphael is touching your heart and mind with healing light, erasing emotional scars that kept you bound. Uriel is illuminating your next step so you will no longer stumble in darkness. You are not losing your mind, you are breaking spiritual cycles. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. The turbulence you feel is not chaos, it's spiritual labor. You are birthing something heaven has been waiting for. The hidden war wasn't to destroy you, it was to reveal you. You were chosen to rise from the ashes of confusion and become a living testimony that God's power is greater than any opposition. You are walking proof that no weapon formed against a child of God can prosper when heaven stands behind them. Even now, angels are clearing the energy around your home. They are breaking unholy connections, cleansing your atmosphere, and restoring divine peace where there was once tension. That restlessness you felt lately, it's leaving. That tightness in your chest, it's loosening. That worry about the future, it's being replaced with clarity. God is declaring over your life. The war ends tonight. The storm will calm. The truth will rise. What you couldn't understand is about to make sense. What was hidden in darkness is being brought into light. Every lie that was spoken against you is being reversed. Heaven's court has ruled in your favor. So, if your spirit feels this message, stay still for a moment. Let heaven's peace settle in. You've survived battles you didn't even know you were fighting, and now, your victory is being announced in the heavenly realms. You are stepping out of warfare and into revelation. You are stepping out of fear and into divine instruction. You are stepping out of confusion and into your calling. And before we continue, if your heart is stirred by this message, take a second to like, share, and subscribe, because this isn't just content. This is a lifeline. Someone else needs to hear what you've just heard, because their hidden war is raging right now, and heaven can use you as the messenger to deliver them. Stay close, because what comes next will reveal the truth that the enemy never wanted you to discover. The sky above your soul has shifted. The storm has passed, and in its place shines a holy calm, not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that feels full. Full of promise. Full of presence. Full of divine possibility. This is the sacred stillness that follows obedience, the moment when heaven stops fighting for you because heaven now fights through you. You are no longer standing on the battlefield, you're standing at the threshold of your destiny. The angels who once surrounded you for protection now stand in awe, because you finally remembered who you are. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not late. You are chosen, on time, on purpose, and on assignment. Heaven's celebration. In the invisible realms, a celebration begins. The angels lift their voices, and the sound vibrates through creation like a golden echo. Every prayer you thought was lost has been found. Every tear that fell unnoticed has been gathered. Every delay that confused you was actually divine strategy in disguise. The archangels step forward once more. Michael, radiant with strength, declares, "The chains have been broken. No weapon formed against them shall prosper." Gabriel smiles, his voice soft as light. "Now speak. Let the truth you carry reach those still in the dark." Raphael extends his hand, whispering, "Let all wounds, physical, emotional, and spiritual, be healed by love." And Uriel adds, "Let wisdom guide every new beginning." This is not imagination, this is revelation. Heaven has confirmed your release. You are stepping into the after season, where everything that once hurt you becomes the foundation of your purpose. The unveiling of purpose. God's voice echoes softly through your spirit. "My child, you thought I delayed, but I was developing you. You thought I ignored you, but I was preparing you. Every unanswered prayer taught you endurance. Every closed door redirected your path. Every disappointment shaped your compassion. Nothing was wasted. The purpose you carry is not small, it's divine. It's why the warfare was so strong. The darkness fought hard because it knew that once you stood in your truth, you would set others free simply by existing in your light. The same voice continues. "Now arise. What I placed inside you will no longer remain hidden. The season of silence has ended." And as you hear those words, you realize, this is the moment heaven has been waiting for. The moment when your faith stops being a theory and becomes your lifestyle. You walk not in fear, but in authority. You speak not in anxiety, but in confidence. You move not by sight, but by revelation. The new you doesn't need validation. You've already been approved by heaven. The great exchange. Before you move forward, heaven performs one last exchange, the final act of restoration. Everything that once burdened you is traded for something divine. Your confusion is exchanged for clarity. Your anxiety is exchanged for assurance. Your sorrow is exchanged for joy. Your weakness is exchanged for power. Your loneliness is exchanged for divine companionship. You are no longer a victim of your past, you are the proof that God redeems stories. Every season of loss is now repurposed as wisdom. Every wound becomes a testimony. Every scar becomes a sign of survival and victory. God says, "From this day, what broke you will now bless you. What was meant to destroy you will now define you, in glory." And as these words settle into your spirit, peace floods your being. You realize the angels aren't just watching you, they're walking with you into this next chapter. The weight is lifted. The fear dissolves. You feel it, freedom. The new path. The path ahead may still be unknown, but you are no longer afraid of mystery, because you now trust the one who writes it. Where others see risk, you see revelation. Where others see delay, you see divine timing. Where others stop, you continue, because faith has become your compass. The angels whisper reminders. Keep your eyes on the light. Keep your heart pure. Keep your words faithful. Each step you take echoes in eternity. The world around you may not yet understand what happened, but heaven already celebrates the new beginning unfolding within you. This is not the end of your story, this is the turning point. The chapter where destiny begins to make sense. Even when challenges return, you will stand stronger than before. You'll know that storms don't signal punishment, they announce power. And every time you doubt, you'll remember, heaven once called your name in the middle of the night to remind you, you are chosen. The divine promise. Before the angels depart, they leave one last message written across your heart. Whatever God started in you, He will finish. Nothing can interrupt what heaven has authorized. It doesn't matter who doubts you. It doesn't matter who walks away. What's meant for you carries your spiritual signature, no one else can claim it. Your life will now move in divine rhythm, not forced, not rushed, but beautifully aligned. Doors will open naturally. People will appear suddenly. Answers will arrive quietly but unmistakably. Because when heaven decrees movement, earth must respond. The same hand that opened the Red Sea will open your way. The same voice that called Lazarus from the tomb is calling your dream to life. You've passed the test. You've endured the waiting. And now, the promise manifests. The call to spread the light. You are not meant to keep this awakening to yourself. You are a vessel of light, and light only fulfills its purpose when it shines for others to see. Your testimony might be the key to someone else's breakthrough. Your peace might inspire someone else's healing. Your courage might awaken someone else's calling. So, share the message. Spread the word. Be bold in your faith. Say to others, if He did it for me, He can do it for you. Because that's what heaven wants, not fear, not hiding, but the boldness of those who know they've been rescued by love. And if this message has reached you today, if you feel that something divine has touched your spirit, take a moment to breathe, to thank God, and to remember, you were meant to hear this. Now, let this light travel farther. Like this video, share it, and subscribe, not just to support the message, but as a declaration of faith. Each action you take sends this light into new corners of the world. You become part of the heavenly chain reaction that turns darkness into dawn. Final blessing. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a radiant light descending from above, golden, pure, and peaceful. It touches your crown, flows through your mind, your heart, your hands, your entire being. You are blessed. You are covered. You are anointed for this new chapter. God's voice whispers once more. You made it through the fire. Now, carry the flame. Carry it into your home. Carry it into your dreams. Carry it into every word you speak. Because from this moment forward, you no longer walk toward destiny, you walk as destiny. You are the answered prayer. You are the divine miracle unfolding in real time. And as the music fades and the light settles, may you feel heaven's applause within your spirit, a sacred reminder that you said yes, and that yes changed everything. If this message stirred your heart, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Not for numbers, but for the movement of light. Together, we keep heaven's message alive. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. Stay faithful. Stay awake. Your destiny is now unlocked. Heaven has been patient. The archangels have been watching in silence. But as the hour draws closer to 8 p.m., that silence is breaking. The clocks in the spiritual realm are moving differently now, faster, sharper, aligning divine timing with divine truth. All day long, heaven has been issuing assignments. You may have felt strange sensations, moments of déjà vu, unusual calm in the middle of chaos, an inner nudge that said, "Don't leave yet, something's about to happen." That was not your imagination. It was the Holy Spirit, positioning you to receive the revelation that will change everything. Right now, the veil between the seen and unseen is thinning. Angels are moving across timelines, setting things into place that you thought were lost forever. Promises delayed are now being released. The truth you were meant to see all along is being unveiled. And this is the truth heaven wants you to understand before the clock reaches its divine mark: you were never abandoned. You were being aligned. Every unanswered prayer, every confusing season, every heartbreak, every door that shut in your face, all of it was heaven's way of protecting your destiny from being contaminated by the wrong hands. You cried and said, "God, why are you letting this happen?" And God whispered, "If you only knew what I was saving you from, you'd be thanking me instead of questioning me." The archangels are in shock tonight because they are witnessing how quickly God is about to turn things around for you. What looked like years of delay will be flipped in moments. The seeds of pain you planted through tears are now breaking through the soil of time, and the harvest is far greater than what you ever prayed for. For a long time, darkness tried to distort your vision. People lied about you. Opportunities vanished without reason. You felt invisible, forgotten, maybe even cursed. But heaven says, you were hidden for protection, not rejection. The enemy wanted to destroy you before you reached this moment of revelation, but God concealed you in plain sight. You thought you were being ignored, but you were being guarded. You thought you were being delayed, but you were being developed. You thought you were losing, but you were being refined. Now the time has come, and heaven declares, "Reveal the chosen." Archangel Gabriel has stepped forward, trumpet in hand. He announces to the heavens that the child of God who once wept in secret will soon shine in public. The mantle that was waiting for you is being placed on your shoulders. The blessings that were withheld until the right season are being released in abundance. The pain that once humbled you has become your passport into divine purpose. This is why God warned, "Do not walk away from this call." Because tonight's revelation is the bridge between everything you've been through and everything God has prepared. The angels are aligning the final pieces. You may not see them, but their presence is unmistakable. Some of you will feel warmth on your shoulders, a tingle down your spine, or a sudden wave of peace. That's not emotion, that's confirmation. God is saying, "My child, the truth I'm revealing tonight will free you from every false story the world wrote about you. The truth is this: you were chosen to carry light in a world that loves darkness. That's why you've been misunderstood. That's why you've been tested. That's why the road felt lonely. Because only those who've walked through shadows can lead others toward light. And now, heaven is revealing the hidden reason behind every hardship. It was all training for authority. You had to be betrayed to learn discernment. You had to lose certain people to learn divine protection. You had to be broken to learn restoration. You had to walk through storms to learn peace that passes understanding. Now, as the clock inches toward 8 p.m., the heavens are preparing for a holy reversal. What the enemy meant for evil, God is rewriting for good, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. If you've been hearing ringing in your ears, seeing repeated numbers, feeling drawn to prayer at unusual times, those are divine codes, signals that heaven has locked you into its schedule. Your life is no longer moving on human time, it's moving on divine time. Every angel assigned to your purpose is gathering around you right now. Michael guards your home. Raphael touches your body with healing. Uriel illuminates your next step. Gabriel prepares to deliver your confirmation. And here's the secret, the one truth the enemy never wanted you to know: you were never fighting for victory. You were fighting from victory. The battle was already won the moment you chose faith over fear. Every attack, every disappointment, every delay was the enemy trying to make you forget who you are in Christ, but heaven never forgot. Tonight, the divine courtroom has ruled in your favor. Every false word spoken over you is being cancelled. Every door that was shut by man is being reopened by God's own hand. Every delay that once frustrated you is being turned into a setup for acceleration. The archangels are rejoicing, not because the war was easy, but because you didn't give up. You stayed when others left. You prayed when others mocked. You trusted when nothing made sense. Now the truth comes clear: the revelation before 8 p.m. is not about fear, but fulfillment. God says, what you thought was over is about to begin again, but this time, it will carry my promise, not your pain. Heaven is preparing to reveal the person, the opportunity, or the calling that will define your next chapter. For some, it will be reconciliation. For others, relocation. For others, divine promotion. But whatever form it takes, you'll know it because peace will lead the way. So if your spirit feels this, pause. Breathe. Receive it. Because once the hour passes, things will not look the same. Before this night ends, God will show you a sign. It may be a dream, a sudden message, an unexpected call, or a divine sense of release. It will be heaven's way of saying, I kept my promise. This is your revelation: you were never forsaken. You were being prepared for such a time as this. And as this divine message unfolds, remember, don't let fear make you walk away. Stay until the very end, because the final truth that will be spoken next will open your eyes to why heaven has been calling your name so urgently. If you haven't yet, like, share, and subscribe, not for algorithms, but so that this message travels to the next chosen soul who's seconds away from giving up. Because one share can save a destiny. The heavens have grown still. The storm of questioning, the battle of fear, the weight of confusion, all of it pauses, as if creation itself is waiting for what comes next. The air feels different, lighter, almost sacred. The archangels stand together, not in alarm now, but in radiant peace. Because the verdict has been spoken. And it isn't condemnation. It isn't punishment. It's mercy. It's restoration. It's love. God speaks softly, but his words thunder through eternity. My child, you are free. For so long, you've carried burdens that weren't yours to hold: guilt, regret, fear, disappointment. You replayed mistakes in your mind, believing they defined you. But tonight, heaven has overturned every false accusation. The divine courtroom has declared you redeemed, not ruined; chosen, not forgotten; destined, not defeated. The verdict is simple, yet powerful: grace has won. The archangels bow their heads in reverence, for they know the depth of what just happened. Archangel Michael sheathes his sword, not in surrender, but in victory. Gabriel lowers his trumpet in peace. Raphael extends his wings, releasing waves of healing over your mind and heart. And Uriel, glowing with golden fire, lights the path ahead, your new beginning. Heaven's judgment is mercy. And mercy is God's final word over you. This is what God has been trying to show you all along, that even in the chaos, his plan was working. Every trial was refining you. Every delay was protecting you. Every tear watered the soil for your harvest. The enemy accused you day and night, whispering lies that you were unworthy of blessing, unworthy of love, unworthy of God's favor. But God looked at you, not as you were, but as he created you to be, and said, "This one is mine." Heaven's books have been opened, and beside your name is written a single word in radiant light: restored. The archangels rejoice. You've passed through the storm and come out stronger. You've endured the testing, and now comes the testimony. The very things that tried to destroy you will become proof of God's power within you. God is not angry with you, He's proud of you. Proud that you held on when everything told you to quit. Proud that you believed when you couldn't see. Proud that you kept faith alive even when hope felt distant. And now, as the divine verdict settles, heaven begins to move in new ways. Doors that were sealed are opening. Relationships that were fractured are being healed. Opportunities once delayed are being realigned. The energy around you is shifting from warfare to peace, from survival to abundance. The season of defense is over, the season of destiny begins. This is why heaven has been so urgent. God wanted you to understand, not to fear judgment, but to embrace restoration. What looked like endings were preparations for divine beginnings. You see, God's justice isn't about punishment, it's about setting things right. When He passes judgment, He restores what was stolen. And now, angels are moving to return what was taken from you: joy, confidence, relationships, finances, opportunities, and inner peace. This is the great reversal heaven promised. Where there was loss, there will be recovery. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was delay, there will be acceleration. Where there was sorrow, there will be laughter. Your past no longer holds authority over you. The verdict has been declared in your favor, and the chains that held you are gone. God says, you are stepping into your inheritance. Not because you earned it, but because I ordained it. Tonight, the archangels mark your name in light. You are under divine protection. No weapon formed against you will stand. Every dark power that opposed you is being silenced. Every doubt that haunted you is dissolving in the light of truth. And as this verdict echoes through the heavens, your spirit begins to feel peace again, real peace. Not the kind that depends on circumstance, but the kind that comes from knowing that the Creator of all things has chosen you for renewal. God whispers again. Be still now. You don't have to fight anymore. The battle is mine, and victory is yours. This is your turning point. From this moment forward, your story changes. The light that once flickered in you is burning bright again. The path that seemed lost is clear. The fear that once controlled you has been replaced with divine confidence. And as the angels rejoice in heaven, they prepare to walk beside you into the next part of your journey, the phase where promises become visible and destiny becomes reality. Before we continue, take a moment to give thanks, not out of duty, but from your heart. Say quietly, thank you, God, for freedom. Thank you for restoration. Thank you for never leaving me. Now, take one more step of faith, like, share, and subscribe. Because this isn't just a story, it's a seed. And when you share light, you multiply miracles. Someone out there is still trapped in their own courtroom of guilt and fear. Your act of faith could bring their freedom too. Stay with me, because in part 6, the archangels begin to deliver what heaven promised, the visible signs of your new beginning, and how to walk in your renewed destiny. After the verdict of mercy, a sacred quiet settles across the unseen world. The battlefields that once echoed with fear now glow with gentle light. It isn't the light of lightning or fire, it's the calm radiance of fulfillment. Heaven is no longer fighting for you, heaven is now moving through you. You start to notice it first in small ways. The anxiety that used to control your mornings softens. The tension that sat in your chest begins to lift. People who drained your energy quietly fade away, and new faces appear, kind eyes, peaceful hearts, souls who recognize your light before you speak. These are divine appointments, proof that the shift has begun. God works subtly at first. He begins to realign your steps with divine timing. You'll walk into rooms you never expected, meet people who say the one sentence you needed to hear, receive messages that confirm the dreams you were afraid to chase. This is manifestation in motion, not magic, but alignment between heaven's will and your willingness. Archangel Uriel walks before you, carrying the flame of wisdom. He illuminates opportunities hidden in plain sight. Archangel Raphael moves beside you, reminding you that healing is not only physical but emotional. He touches old wounds so they no longer control your decisions. Archangel Gabriel speaks to your spirit in quiet inspiration, urging you to write, create, speak, build, love. And Michael, still your protector, walks behind you, ensuring that what God has opened cannot be stolen again. Together they form a circle of light, your divine team, assigned to guide your purpose into visible reality. Now the transformation becomes personal. You begin to dream again. You start to expect good things instead of fearing loss. You speak life instead of rehearsing pain. You forgive because peace tastes better than bitterness. Every positive choice sends a signal upward, I believe. And every time you believe, heaven answers with movement. Doors open faster. Conversations flow easier. Creativity increases. You notice that the things that used to drain you no longer hold power. That's not coincidence, that's manifestation. The divine within you has awakened, and the world around you is adjusting to match your vibration of faith. Remember, manifestation is not about forcing outcomes, it's about allowing God's order to unfold through trust. When you stop chasing what's not meant for you, what is meant for you finally has space to arrive. The archangels celebrate when you choose trust over control, patience over panic, faith over fear. Because every act of trust is a bridge between heaven's promise and earth's reality. You may feel the urge to simplify your life, to clean your space, clear your mind, forgive debts, or end toxic attachments. Follow that urge, it's divine guidance. Heaven can only fill hands that are empty. Letting go is not loss, it's preparation for overflow. And when you least expect it, the visible proof begins. A message of good news. A healing confirmed. A creative idea that suddenly succeeds. A reconciliation that feels impossible but happens anyway. These are not random blessings, they are confirmations that heaven's verdict has been executed. The manifestation isn't only external, it's internal. You start to feel at home in your own soul again. You realize that peace was never something you had to chase, it was something you had to allow. God's whisper becomes clear. My child, this is what I wanted for you all along, not endless striving, but sacred rest in my plan. That's the moment when faith matures. You no longer pray from desperation but from gratitude. You no longer beg, you expect. You no longer fear endings, you anticipate beginnings. The archangels smile, for this is true victory, the awakening of a soul that finally remembers it was never separated from divine love. So, how do you stay in this flow? Stay thankful. Gratitude anchors manifestation. The more you thank, the more you see. Stay present. Don't rush ahead, miracles happen in moments of stillness. Stay kind. Compassion keeps your vibration aligned with heaven's frequency. Stay faithful. When doubt whispers, answer it with praise. Every time you do these things, you send a new signal into the spiritual realm, the light is awake here. And heaven responds with more light. Soon, people around you notice the change. They ask what happened, why your eyes shine brighter, why your words carry weight. And you'll tell them simply, I stopped fighting and started trusting. That testimony itself becomes part of the divine plan, touching lives you'll never meet. The manifestation is not just for you, it's through you. You become the living evidence that faith works, that love heals, that divine timing is real. So as you listen now, breathe deeply. Picture that radiant circle of light expanding around you. With every breath, release fear and receive peace. With every heartbeat, whisper, thank you. This is the moment when heaven meets earth, not in thunder or lightning, but in the quiet transformation of a heart that finally surrenders. And now, before we move into the closing message, take a moment of gratitude. Then, if this message has stirred your spirit, like, share, and subscribe, not for fame, but to spread light. Every share extends hope. Every comment becomes a ripple of encouragement across someone else's storm. You've come this far for a reason. You didn't find this message by chance. Heaven has been guiding you to this exact moment, the moment where understanding meets awakening, and fear gives way to faith. Breathe. Feel it. Something has changed within you, quietly, yet powerfully. The old version of you has been released, and the divine version of you has just been born. The angels are no longer whispering from afar, they now stand beside you, surrounding you in radiant protection. They've seen your tears. They've witnessed your battles. And now, they witness your rise. This isn't the end of your story, it's the unveiling of your purpose. From this point forward, you carry heaven's mark. Wherever you walk, peace will follow. Whatever you touch, grace will multiply. Whatever you speak, light will answer. So don't look back. Don't doubt. Don't question why it had to happen the way it did. Every delay, every detour, every heartbreak, all of it was leading you here. Here, to the place of understanding. Here, to the place of destiny. Here, to the moment when heaven's promise becomes your reality. Now raise your hands, not in fear, but in faith. And whisper, God, I'm ready. Ready to be used. Ready to shine. Ready to live the story you've written for me. Let these final words echo in your spirit. You are loved beyond measure. You are guided without pause. And your future has already been secured by the one who holds eternity in his hands. So as this video ends, the journey continues. Carry this peace into your next step. Carry this light into your world. And if this message reached your soul tonight, if you felt something awaken deep within you, don't let it stop here. Like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to keep heaven's message alive on earth. Because this, right now, is not just a video. This is a divine encounter. A whisper from eternity reminding you. You are seen. You are chosen. And your time has come.